Charles Leclerc will serve his first penalty of the season on Sunday in Jeddah, which will be quite disturbing because his first race of the season in Bahrain ended in a 0 point, which is also a DNF. So far, the DNF on the same party will be changing ahead of the Sunday Grand Prix. The control unit of the car and the battery and some other parts were changed on Sunday morning ahead of Bahrain Grand Prix. Now he will be changing the same parts, which will give him a 10-place grid penalty. Normally in F1, you're allowed to change two electronic control modules for the year. Now this is his third control module for the year. The first was the one that was changed before the race. The second was the one that stopped during the race. Now this is the third one. So he will be having a 10-place grid penalty ahead of Sunday's Grand Prix. The only hope for Ferrari for a podium or for a win in the race is Carlos Sainz, whom we hope will be racing Aston Martin that he fell short of in Bahrain, and also possibly be racing the Red Bulls, the Raging Bulls, for the season. Because the damaged control modules may not be repaired again, so we hope Ferrari are giving him a superior control module that will serve him till the end of the season, lest he will be taking some penalties again in the season. If this control module issue has not been solved, he might be taking more penalties this season, which will affect championship debate. The only hope for Ferrari for any championship debate now is Carlos Sainz, and it would be smart if Frederic Vasseur, the Ferrari team principal, after this Jeddah race, can decide who should be his lead driver and who should be his supporting driver. Carlos Sainz is already having points on the table. If Charles Leclerc can give a very beautiful drive in qualifying and a very beautiful drive on Sunday, maybe he will be in contention again. Probably he might be in contention again. But for now, I think after the race on Sunday, Frederic Vasseur should be able to give his verdict on who should be his number one and number two driver for the season, because he really needs to know that so he can know what he's pushing and who they will be giving more tools to challenge the Red Bulls, and possibly if the Aston Martins are ahead of them, they should be able to challenge the Aston Martin. During the week after my post on the Mercedes saga, their confusion and what they are going through in the season. Though we hope the package they are bringing to Jeddah will be a very strong package, hopefully, because they've told us they will be coming to Imola with 3/10 of package that would make them challenge, and there's nothing to challenge with 3/10 of package coming to Imola when they are like 1 second behind the Aston Martin and about 6/10 behind the Ferrari, possibly 5 or 4/10 behind the Aston Martin, which we all know anything 3/10 is not going to work for them. And they said they are going to be radical coming to Jeddah, hoping they will bring some good upgrades to the W14, and possibly we know if they are going to change anything on the W14. See, looking at the W13 package and the W14 package for this season, there has been a tremendous work on the W14, and we believe the W14 should be very competitive. But looking at the car, Mercedes took a very, very drastic and very bullish approach to their design concept for the W13, which they followed up with the W14. And looking at the concept in the diagrams above, we don't have the layout nor the prototype of the car. But from what we are seeing, I believe aerodynamically, that car is a perfect car to work with. That was why when the car came in to testing in Bahrain in 2022, Red Bull had to go and look at the car, and they were like, this car will be a car to reckon with. This car is going to be a car that would push the grid. Unfortunately, they came short of that all through the seasons. Towards the end of the season, that car improved. That car really improved, and we thought they would. They've known the problem, and they'll bring a much more better car in W14, and we can see W14 has really gone back, far back behind the W13. And what I saw on the car is that car, they've not really gotten the downforce issue. That car will be a car that will give them much downforce. The chassis, the zero-pod design will give them much more aerodynamics. But one, I think Mercedes are not telling us the truth about the flaw. Why they've not gotten the flaw of the car, and also the front wing. Is the rear suspension the right balance for the car? We don't know yet. Ultimately, we should know that the front suspension might not be the right balance for the car. There are three things I believe are affecting the car, the W14, which I think they need to look at to work on if they will continue to use the W14. One, the front suspension. Two, the front wings. And three, the floor of the car. For them to get the perfect low drag on the car, they need the floor of the car to be able to suck towards the road surface, which I'm not sure they are getting, which is affecting them when they are cornering, and it's also affecting them on the straights. They are not having bouncing this year, maybe because each cars have been raised about 15 millimeters high, and that has given them opportunity to have a no bouncing car. But if they can sort out their front wings, in which the way in which the air goes around the car and goes into the pod, the air is being able to flow around the car in the right balance, it will be able to suck the car to the ground. Now, if the lower part of the car, which is the floor of the car, is being able to generate the right down force from the way the car is being pushed down, because that design of the car will have a great impact in the way the car will be pushed down. But if the money or the cost cap is affecting them, is affecting Mercedes in designing the right floor or designing the right floor for the car, maybe they should just change the concept of the car and go with a better concept in which I think would work for them. But from design, they would not want to go for that same design in 2023 if that car design is not what they see as a championship car. Because looking at that car, like I said, aerodynamically, that car will give them a lot of aerodynamics. It will generate a lot of their aerodynamics and will be able to push far because of the design and the no pod and the no pod design, and the way the side pods in the picture, you can see the way the side pods are being designed. Car should be able to move through the air and be pushed down. But of all things, I think Mercedes should either bring up a better package for Bahrain, which I know it should have been in works before the Bahrain Grand Prix. They should just bring a better package or change the car straight. Lest it will be a no win for them in 2023, and possibly they will be the fourth team in the championship in 2023. We'll catch up tomorrow after the first practice in Saudi Arabia, Jeddah. Thank you for watching this episode. We love you. Keep subscribing. Thank you. At Oxon F1, our main aim is to bring you the knowledge of Formula One, educate you, bring you the races, how it goes down, help you to understand it more. On our shorts, you'll be seeing some educational terminologies and words that are used during the race that you might not understand. And our long goal is to bring a Formula One race to Africa, possibly Nigeria, and also to educate people and to help in the knowledge transfer of getting Nigerians into some part of Formula One, the racing, which will take a long time because we need to have good karting category to challenge, to get drivers from the karting categories into the small formulas, the Renault formulas, Formula 4, and other formulas, before we can get a driver to Formula 1. That might take a long time, but that is our goal, to be the bridge to help people realize their dream in Formula 1. Some people may not even know that is where they are meant to be, but our own main aim is to help them to navigate and realize that goal. And also to help people to grow in the engineering, the other administrative aspect of the game. If possibly a billionaire in Nigeria want to buy a team in Formula One or be one of the sponsors, so that they can see that we have the quality hands that will do it, which will also help in aiding how our engineering develop as a nation. Because with young people, young graduates, or young entrepreneur, young engineers learning the engineering of Formula One, the CFD, the fluid dynamics, and all the parts of Formula One, we'll find ourselves growing in car development, because the cars you see today, most of the technologies are well tested in Formula One before they become today's technology. And if you have people there, it will help our technical know-how to build good mechanics, good engineers, and it also promotes the revenue generation for a nation. It's part of our dream to bring karting, to bring this race to Nigeria and to Africa also, and to help an African, a young Africa, a young African, to help a young African to realize his dream, not just in Formula One, but being an engineer and being part of this world. It will also create a lot of employment for a lot of people, and this will take a lot of people out of the street. That is our main aim. That is why we have this channel. If there's a way you can support, we'd love you to come on board, work with us. I would love to work with you. Thank you.